What if we could rewind time? What would we find about our origins that are responsible for the superpowers we have now? What things have set us rolling against the norm, giving extra to our ordinary, giving us a lift, making us answers in a world with so many questions? How are we taught that our genius is to serve? That we come into this big world loaded with gifts, but are responsible for how we offload, unpack, and unlock what we have to meet the existing needs of others? Is our genius for us, or to be poured out for mankind? In this episode, I speak to Chef Linda about her passion, her execution, her genius.
My name is Linda Eswabanga, and I am the chef, the head chef of Small Epic Pots. First of all, I love what I do. I absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, love what I do. I live it, I breathe it, I sleep it. So each day for me is a gift that I get to wake up and do what I love. And I get paid to do it as well, so that's a plus. The fact that I'm going to wake up in the morning and walk into the heat and light a stove and cook gets me going. It's even better if I'm going to cook something I probably never cooked before. So the thought of that is enough to, as crazy as it sounds, keep me up at night and then get me pumped to get into the kitchen the next day. So that gets me going. We all eat, yes. Some of us eat for fuel, some of us eat for healing. But our emotions are also tied into food. I found that for me, every memory I have, I can kind of connect it to food. When I'm happy, when I'm sad, my first heartbreak, exciting places I've been to, people I've met. So somehow there's food. Food it's personal. It's also universal. It connects all of us. That's why when people die, there's food involved in it. When people die, we're supposed to be mourning, but we're eating. When a child is born, we come together to eat. When we're celebrating anything, there's food somehow. There's a conference. There's always food somewhere, and you realize that it's at the point where the food comes out that everybody gets together and they connect. Food starts a conversation. Food ends a conversation. People fight over food. People fall in love because they like the same kinds of food. So food just, for me, it triggers all kinds of emotions. A typical example for me is whenever I light a grill. I just think about my dad because my dad used to love grilled meat, and my love for grilling stemmed from there. So whenever I grill something, I'm like, oh, okay. It takes me back to memories of my dad. When I cook traditional food, I cook ekpang, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about my mom or my grandmom. So for me, it's just the memories, the people, and just the connection for me. So I try as much as I can when I'm also cooking. I hope that the person who is eating my food can connect somehow. Maybe there's a memory, maybe it's the pepper, the smell of the pepper or the cinnamon or something that takes you somewhere. Or maybe you're eating it for the first time and the next time you go somewhere you're like, oh, this smells or tasted like Linda's food. So yeah, for me it's that connection, the emotions and all of that. I don't think I can put the craziness into words, to be honest, because you've come on a good day. You've come on a day where we don't have to send our food by 7 o'clock, which means we had to sleep here. So that's a good day. You've come on a day where we're not cooking for 1,000 people, so we are really all over the place. You've come on a day when I've not decided to kill someone. So you didn't hear me scream because I'd scream and the whole streets can hear me scream. So today was a really good day. It gets really, really crazy. It gets physically exhausting. I worked for 2 days in a row and forgotten to eat. So I worked 48 hours. We're doing different locations, so we went back to back to back to back. And I started feeling funny and my staff said, oh, Ma, I think you're feeling this way because you haven't eaten, you didn't eat today, you didn't eat yesterday, and that's strange. And we're surrounded by food, but we forget to eat. So that's how crazy it gets. Sometimes we need to sleep over just to make sure everything is done. 2 days in the kitchen are never the same. Never ever. I've done this for 4 years and there are no 2 days I can say, oh, yesterday was like today. There's always something going wrong. That's the thing with the kitchen. Something has to go wrong. So sometimes it's your ability to stay calm, think on your feet. So this went wrong. How do you fix it without the clients at the end of the day saying, oh, my food was fantastic, but stuff has gone. I have so many stories we probably can't go over, from thinking you had sweet corn to boiling the corn and then realizing it wasn't sweet corn and your customer is expecting sweet corn and you bought it at a cheaper rate because you bought it from the farmer, and now you need to run to the supermarket to go buy it at twice the same rate. I can't increase the price of my invoice, but they have to get sweet corn. That's a typical day. A typical day is the oven not coming on. So we now have to buy charcoal, use the gas, use the grill, use everything, and the whole place will be smoking. But at the end of the day, the customer has to say, my food was great. And we go, okay. A typical day is frying puff-puff and the yeast you bought was bad yeast. So the puff-puff isn't rising. So you run to the market and try. You keep the puff-puff by the AC vents so it will rise. You put it under the gas cooker so it would rise quick enough. A typical day is the dispatch rider not showing up. So that day, your profit for lunch is out the window because you have to use an Uber. And it's probably not going to be fast enough. So you're still going to have angry customers, but we can't tell them it's not our fault. We have to still take responsibility for it and still pay the Uber for it. So those are the little things that 2 days are not the same.
Her dispatch guy had a minor accident and we had to wait for her to put things in order. Our conversation got a bit more interesting after this point. We will share in part 2.